me, Renee. I'm back, and I have for you an original tag, which I haven't done in ages, it feels like. I think it's been quite a while since the last one. And yeah, so this is the uh, comedy book tag. I was first thinking of calling it stand-up comedian book tag, but then I kind of added some other questions that didn't make it complete for that. And yeah, so I did check first if there's any tags like this already, and at the best of my knowledge, there's not. I mean, there's so many book tags out there. I mean, book tags have been a thing for a long time, and even though it's not trendy now, they're still being made. Most about me, well, not most about me, but I love them by me. But still, yeah, I really like them, and yeah, there doesn't seem to exist a tag like this. And if there is, I'm sorry, and I suppose if you're doing it, you're gonna have to mention me to like differentiate. But yeah, I checked and I checked. There doesn't seem to be one. So yeah, and this is in honor of April Fools of last week because pranks funny. So this is a comedy book tag or comedy comedian. Yeah, comedy book tag. I'm gonna call it. And yeah, let's start. Yeah. So the first one is Adam Hills, a funny Australian book, since Adam Hills is Australian stand-up comedian. So for this one, also yeah, this one it doesn't have to be a book set in Australia. It's just a book by an Australian. For this one, I'm going with Frog Kisser by Garth Nix, which yeah, this is very funny. Highly recommend it. It's not set anywhere really. It's not set anywhere. It has a setting, but it's not set in England or Australia. It's set in a kind of fairytale world where it's not a retelling per se, but it's more like a remix of fairytale tropes. And yeah, this one is, as I said, very funny. Check it out if you're curious. And then the next, this is I suppose a bit of a shade, but I decided to do it. My tag. So yeah, Jack Whitehall, an author you used to love, but now you think is fine. Around 10, 12 years ago, I loved Jack Whitehall's stand-up shows, like watch a lot of them online. Now I kind of think he's fine. I don't dislike him now, but I like other people more. But like still, if I see him on somewhere, I will watch him. But I'm not like Jack Whitehall. I'm kind of thinking like maybe I should dislike him on Facebook and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, so this one I decided to go for is Lola and the Boy Next Door, or the Stephanie Perkins books. So I read this trilogy when I was in high school, 10 years ago. Time flies, and I loved it at the time. Now, definitely a lot of people have been talking about how both this and the first book has some interesting aspects to them. And yeah, I've kind of wanted to reread them, but I kind of never gotten around to that. But yeah, I think I might reread them, but also I think I might give them away. I'm not quite sure. But like, if Stephanie Perkins were to give out a book tomorrow, I wouldn't run to a store to buy it. I would be maybe curious and look up what it's about, but I wouldn't run to a store. So yeah. Then the next is David Mitchell. He's a very funny British comedian. Well, most of these are British comedians, but yeah. So yeah, prompt for here is a funny author that makes you think, because David Mitchell is one of those comedian who he talks about real life, and he has these fun rants which are quite cheeky but also very true. I love them, and yeah, he's just it's very funny, but like with depth. Not that a lot of other comedians are stupid and shallow. You know what I mean. So for this one, I'm gonna go with. Give me a moment. I have it prepared here, and then yeah, give me a little moment. I'm gonna just fix my there. So for this one, I'm gonna go with Alyssical or an Extraordinary Union, but like, yeah, as I said, most of these prompts are more author-based, or some books are author-based, but this is author-based. So yeah, just all of Alyssical books. I suppose often you don't think, oh, Alyssical, she's so funny. I think what you think the first is she's so romantic. Well, she's so romantic. Her books are so romantic. They're so good. They're so unique and etc. etc. But honestly, I would also say her books are quite funny. Both an Extraordinary Union, but also can I black out? I hope divided out. Maybe I hope divided is slightly more funny. But yeah, I would say both of them are quite funny. But they also make you think. And things that you haven't thought about before. At least it made me think. So yeah, Alyssical, I would say, goes for this prompt quite well. And then give me a little moment. Next is Sara Pascoe, a feminist funny author. Sometimes I've forgotten to put in funny, but I kind of think all of these prompts, I'm gonna write it down, but all these prompts should have also like funny in them, not just blank author, but also blank funny author. But yeah. So yeah, Sara Pascoe, she's another quite fun comedian, and yeah, she's also very out there. She's a very prominent feminist, I would say. She has written some non-fiction books about being a female in today's world, and yeah, kind of feminist stuff like that. Not kind of directly feminist, but feminist-ish. They're not about feminist people, but it's more like yeah, you know what I mean. So anyway, here I'm gonna go with. I forgot for a moment what I was gonna go with. No, I know. I'm gonna go with. Give me a moment. This is stupid. Where did you go with the book that I was supposed to use? Oh, there. Sorry. I'm gonna go with Gail Carriger. She writes this series, so the Classic Protocol series, as well as the Personal Protectorate series, as well as Finishing School. And I would say all of them have quite a good feminist aspects to them. But maybe this one is slightly more, because this one kind of, from the get-go, is kind of like, we're here, we're female, and we don't care about your biases and stupid men prejudices. And yeah, and this is all about a ragtag group going around the world in a what's the word again? Dirigible. So have big balloon thingy. Yeah, a big transport thingy. Dirigible. I mean, it's kind of one of those words that are kind of weird difficult to pronounce, but you know what it is when you read about it. At least I've read all of Gail's books, and they all have one of those in them. Dirigibles? Yeah, you know what I mean. That thing. Anywho, Gail Carriger, check her out. Alright. Then we have up next Monty Python. A little tease, I actually might be making a Monty Python book tag, but that's not kind of finished, but I want to think about maybe more. But yeah. So Monty Python, a funny anthology or a book written by several people, of course, funny. So here, yes, I'm back. So I managed to stop the video before it ended, and I talked to myself. I didn't realize it before now, so refilming some stuff, but I did most of it. But yeah, I didn't finish the Monty Python prompt. So yeah, this prompt is a funny anthology or a funny book written by several authors. With this one, I'm going with My Plain Jane by Brody Ashton, Cynthia Hand, and Jody Meadows. This is a very funny book. The first one, my first one being my My Plain Jane. No, this is My Plain Jane. The first one being, what's the first one called again? Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, the first one also being quite funny. I'm just kind of curious. My Lady Jane is very funny, but this one's also quite funny. And yeah, so if you want a funny book written by several people, check out this book. And then the next prompt is, yeah, I forgot to say it earlier, but yeah, Shappi khorosandi, which is an Iranian British, let's say, author, comedian. She's quite funny. She hasn't done a lot of stuff lately. Well, not a lot of stuff that I've seen, but she did a lot of stuff earlier, and yeah, she's very funny. So the prompt here is a funny POC author. So with this, I'm going to go with Shappi, who is author behind the Arisa series, as well as the Gilded Wolf series, as well as the returns of, I think it's down there. Yeah, as well as. Well, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna bother because I almost fell off my chair. So yeah, as well as another series, and yeah, this definitely is a very funny series, but also Gilded Wolves is quite funny. So yeah, check out Rosanna Chokshi if you're interested. And then, last but not least, we have Harriet Manners. So Harriet Manners is a, no, almost fell off the chair again. Yeah, amazing. But yeah, Harriet Manners, she's a protagonist in the Geek Girl series, which I love so much. And that Harriet Manners is quite funny, often not on purpose, but she's still quite funny. And yeah, so here simply choose a book with a very funny or funny protagonist. And first of all, well, this is gonna be easy. I suppose it might not be easy because not everyone loves funny books like I do. And also sometimes the protagonist is a straight guy and um the bi side characters are more funny, so could be a bit difficult. But I found a series that can work. It is a Diary of Confused Feminist series, which is Kat Evans is the author, is the protagonist in this one. And she's very funny. It's written in diary form, so often, at least in my experience, that's quite funny. But in of itself, it's also very funny. She's so relatable, but also so funny. This one came out last year, and this one came out this year. Check it out. A very funny feminist YA series. I don't know if there's going to be a third one, I suppose, in a way, because this one kind of felt like it could have just been a standalone, and then this came out was just so cool to have more. But then again, I also felt like it could be a duology. I feel like also it could have more books, and I wouldn't be mad if that happened. So yeah, and yeah, please, if you feel free, do this tag if you want to. Or also, if you kind of just want to talk about some comedians with me, you can talk about that in the comments if you want to. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.